Yes, yes, sure. Yeah. Is my screen is visible, everyone?
Dear participants, please reply. Anyone?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mysore University, the Director of MMTTC Mysuru, and the coordinator, and all the esteemed faculty members of Mysore University for giving such an opportunity to deliver a session on Indian knowledge system. In fact, this is my second time I'm coming for MMTC Center to present the session. Just couple of years back, I was physically present in the MMTC Center to take up the session. And yeah, fine, no issues. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Gurudevo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Afternoon session, I think you had a wonderful lunch. Being a teacher of mathematics and the person who is working on problems gave me a topic of history and contemporary relevance of IKS. I think it is my pleasure. And for the next 1 hour, I'm sure that I don't want to go for just a PPT version. Maybe we'll have a good amount of discussion based on the real facts and figures, what we have there in Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. So without further delay, uh, I just want to start my afternoon session with the 3 stories so that it won't get bored. And of course, all 3 stories are real. And one thing I'll make it clear, whatever the content we are explaining from Bharatiya Gnana Parampara or Indian knowledge system, unless and until if there is no documentation, we are not speaking. So whatever the content we are delivering, with a document, with a proper research, with a proper literature survey, we are going to execute it, because that is the main thing what we are planning for the next 10 to 15 years from the IKS division of UGC New Delhi. Because you just go back from last couple of years, we are like a WhatsApp forward universities, in the sense, whatever the message we got in a WhatsApp or in any social media platform saying that India has done this, India has done this, India is great, Vande Maratham, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, without knowing the knowledge what actually we have done, we are just forwarding it, right? Is it the true sense of Bharatiya Gnana Parampara? See, being citizens of India, you just remember our basic responsibility is to understand the exact flavor of Bharata, and whatever the contributions we have given for the globe, that we have to spread across the globe. So that is a real challenge with us. I always used to tell, we have a very good history. It may not be so good in the past 200 years, maybe after British colonization. But remember, before it was 200 years back, we are such a great nation. In fact, all the contents, whatever you're discussing in the need of the day, everything will be accessible in Bharatiya soil. So that is the greatness of Bharata. And India is not born on 1947. So it has a variety of history. Therefore, in the next 1 hour, my job is very clear. I just want to take up certain historical notions, what we have done in our contemporary system, and we are just trying to connect with today's fact and figures. So as I mentioned earlier, I just want to start with one simple story. Professor Arjun Vaidya, the name itself containing a word Vaidya, he is a young boy in the streets of Mumbai, just 23, 24 years old boy. He's very rich family. As like other students, his intention is, in India, what is there? Right? I finished my SSLC, I finished my PUC, so degree also I finished in Bharat. No, I don't want to stay in Bharata. It is not so good, it is dirty. No, I want to go for Western countries. I want to settle in USA or I want to settle in UK, whatever it is. Since he has a very rich background, he all the way he traveled from Bharat to USA and he pursued his master degree in Brown University, especially in masters in economics. Once he completed, he thought, "Arey, I have finished my PhD, I have finished my masters in USA itself. Arey, why I should go back to India? I have a lot of money. I have a lot of security. So I want to live my remaining 60, 70, 80, whatever it is, in the country of USA itself." So somehow he started his business and he running the life. Unfortunately, after 3 to 4 years, he had a health issue.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, please.
ಸರ್ PPT ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಾನು.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಸಾರಿ.
It is in the front page only. Yeah.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Yeah, fine. So he decided, no, I don't want to go back to India. I will stay in India, USA itself. I want to live my rest of the life in USA soil. Unfortunately, after 3 to 4 years, he had a health issue. He visited most of the sophisticated hospitals. He spent in dollars. Unfortunately, he didn't recover it. He was totally uncomfortable. All of a sudden, he started remembering his motherland. And one fine day, his grandfather called him. And by the time he told, "Arey, grandfather, I'm facing all these issues and I'm spending dollars for the hospitals. Still, I'm not recovering with my health condition." By looking at the health condition, his grandfather suggested, "Arey, it is very simple. Why you are spending this much? You do this Ayurveda. I'll suggest some leaves for you. I'll suggest some herbal oils for you. You do that. At least 1 week of course you do that. I'm sure it will be recovered." And whether you believe it or not, by God's grace, it got recovered. And that moment itself, he decided, no, my destiny is different. He came back to India. And dear participants, just for information, I'm telling you, the person who came back to India is Arjun Vaidya. And his grandfather was a great Ayurveda medician in the streets of Mumbai. He has served nearly more than 5 to 10,000 patients. And he decided, "Arey, in India, we have a rich culture. We have a rich Ayurveda system. Why I can't spread this to the globe?" So that day he decided, now I have to spread the knowledge of this medicinal values across the globe. And even today, you remember, Dr. Vaidya is one of the famous largest brand in Ayurveda history of Bharat. This is what the real root of Bharat. I want to mention one more story. Of course, whatever the story I'm telling you, you remember, end of my session, I want to connect everything. See, these are small dots. Since it's the afternoon session, I don't want to just run based on the PPT. I want to tell the real facts and figures. The second story goes in a similar line. Dr. V.N. Shukla, he's a Sanskrit professor in Rajasthan. And remember, when I say the state Rajasthan, I'm sure the first thing comes to our mind was a desert, right? They have a scarcity of water. And he was a Sanskrit scholar. He used to work in a college and middle class family. And since he got a job in the college, naturally their parents' wish was very simple. I think everyone has experienced, maybe once you finish your qualification, once you finish all the studies, and once you get a job and settled, the first question comes to mind for your parents was, "Yavaga madve agtiya?" Correct? So when you're going to get married? And he planned, and within a couple of years, he got married. And his dream was, he has to construct his own house. He was staying in the rented house. And he found one good place. He purchased a land. And I hope everyone knows, if you're sitting in metro cities or wherever it is very difficult to get a normal 30 by 40 site also. Since he's a Sanskrit scholar, he had a financial crisis. And apart from the city, maybe around 70, 80 kilometers away from the city, he got a place. He constructed, he built the house. Unfortunately, he had an issue of water. And if you look at Rajasthani pictures, one thing I think everyone is sure, maybe there is a series of girls or ladies, they used to carry the pots and they'll bring a water from far distance to their native, right? They used to walk 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers just to bring a cup of water, right? So he was in a difficult condition. I have married, I have my wife in my family, I have a mother. How I can expect these ladies to take a water all the way from 2 to 3 kilometers on a daily basis? He felt this was an uncomfortable situation for him. Fortunately, since he has an idea of Sanskrit, luckily he able to read some of the scripts in Sanskrit. In one of the script, he mentioned about water conservation system. And what he thought is, anyway, I understood this Sanskrit script, and they have clearly mentioned in what way we can propagate, in what way we can manage water management system. He thought, I'll try to implement this in my home itself. Let it be success or failure that we will see later. I'll just try to implement that. And fortunately, by God grace, he implemented a system, and luckily he is able to catch up the water. And even today, dear participants, there is a famous water conservation system in Rajasthan called Johad system. Maybe if you're interested, just explore it. I don't know how many of you are expert in water management system or civil engineering background, but if you're really interested, you just to try to explore it. It is all about Johad system. Basically, Johad is a Persian word. Johu means actually pond, and And means dam. So he constructed small check dams. And remember, the state government of Rajasthan has recognized this. And across Rajasthan, they have spread out this particular idea of water conservation system, and they have implemented. And the story is not end. There is a climax. After 1 or 2 decades, and if you remember, after independence, we got independence in 1947. And in 1960s, we had a serious food drought, right? We had a scarcity for food, scarcity of water, unseasonal rainfall. So everywhere there is a food scarcity. And fortunately, that time we have one of the famous prime minister of, we have seen Lal Bahadur Shastri. And I hope you know, he declared as you make a fasting once in a week. Every Monday is to go for fasting. And we had a very unfortunate law with USA called PL 480 law, right? Where they used to supply wheat, grains, and barley, rice, everything for food deficient countries. And if you look at the quality of those, I think I don't want to speak much on that. It will go somewhere else. But 1960s, even Rajasthan also had a dark zones. Most of the cities in Rajasthan declared as dark zones by the state government and central government of India. I hope you understood dark zones, which means basically it is totally unable to live. And remember that time there is one more fellow called Rajendra Singh. See, again, why I'm telling all these things, my intention is just to connect historical relevance with a contemporary fact. So end of the day, there is a connection, everything Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. What exactly that we will discuss at the end of my session. So Rajendra Singh, he was an Ayurveda doctor. When the state government of Rajasthan declared it's a dark zone, he decided something I should do for the state of Rajasthan. He left the city, he came back to the villages, and fortunately, he is able to understand the idea of Johar system implemented by Dr. V.N. Shukla. What he has done was, he tried to segregate again that particular system in the villages. Whether you believe it or not, you can go through it. He has literally given rebirth for 11 rivers for in Rajasthan, and he never used any machines. He never used any advanced technologies. With the idea of Dr. V.N. Shukla, what he has done in Johar system, same idea has implemented in the streets of Rajasthan, and he has given the birth for 11 rivers across Rajasthan. You just imagine 11 rivers in Rajasthan, which means a lot. And the water level is rise up on 6 to 7 meters in the streets of Rajasthan. And 1,000 villages get benefited for this. See, this is what the real glory of Bharat. So with this basic story, I think I just want to continue my session. And fortunately, Rajendra Singh in 2015, he got Stockholm Award from the government of Sweden. And I think, you know, Stockholm Award is literally called Nobel Prize for Water. So because of his water conservation, he got a Nobel Award in 2015 by Sweden government. That is called Stockholm Award. And of course, for your information, there are 5 such people in Bharat, and they got Stockholm Award. See, why I am telling all these things is very simple, dear participants. We have a very rich history. We have a very good glory. But from past to 200 years, we lost many things. So this is the right time to understand what exactly IKS is all about. And generally, I don't want to merge knowledge with India, because again, I'm repeating, whatever kala, whatever vidya we have, it is not born in 1967 or 1947. We had a very, very glorious history. But naturally, now the question is, are we might have very good history. We had a glorification in the past, but what is the relevance for contemporary system? Isn't it? But dear participants, you just remember, you cannot give a proper definition of Indian knowledge system. That is my personal wish. I think you can argue in any direction, but there is no proper definition of IKS. And why we have to study IKS? See, it is as good as asking, why you want to know about yourselves, right? See, if you want to success in your life, you should know your strength. You should know your weakness. You should know your strategy. In the same way, if you want to glorify, if you want to success for the Bharat, we should know the history. Remember, the person who knows the history will create the history. So that is why the historical importance of Bharat is very much crucial. So there is a person we always used to tell why IKS is very essential because we had a lot of cultural disconnection. You just take an example of Hiroshima, Nagasaki. See, whenever I say the word Hiroshima or Nagasaki, naturally first thing come to our mind was there is an attack, right? For Hiroshima and Nagasaki long back in 1940s. But remember, if anyone visited Hiroshima and Nagasaki today, you just see the glorification how they have converted the bird land into one of the most sophisticated cities in the globe. That is their challenge. Even today, if you visit Japan, German, China, whatever it is, they are not at all hesitant to speak their native languages. Isn't it? You go to China, are they comfortable in English language? Are they comfortable? Go to Russia, one of the topmost economic country in the globe. Are they comfortable in English? Recently, Vladimir Putin has visited Bharat. And Narendra Modi also visited China just a couple of months back for G20 summit. Everyone they are not recognized with English. Of course, English in medium language that is compulsory. Everyone we should know. But when you go back to home, we should not forget our roots. So that is why we have lost the cultural disconnection, and it is the right time we have to explore back. See, it is like corrupted software in a computer, right? See, we have hardware system and that is well sophisticated, but unfortunately our software got corrupted. And this is the high time to come back from that. And that is why I always used to tell Bharatiya Gnana Parampara was like a muddy water now from last 200 years. And we should act as a catalyst. Otherwise, for the next generation, they may think what is Bharat or what is Indian knowledge system. So that is why we had a great respect. And now the question comes, when we lost our Bharatiya Gnana Parampara, I think the moment in the 15th century when British or Eastern European people visited Bharat. See, remember in the 15th century beginning, they came as a tourist, right? Maybe in the seashore places like Calcutta, they have visited Vishakhapatnam, they have visited Mumbai, they have visited Goa, all seashore places they have visited. By looking at the richness of Bharat, the tourist has converted into traders. That transformation is very risky for India. After becoming traders in 16th century, they have opened East India Company on the governance of Elizabeth Queen, right? So that is where maybe to certain extent we have lost. But let it be open. We have got many positive things from British government. Absolutely, there is no question. Meantime, we have lost our cultural disconnection. You just imagine in today's education system, I think since all of your faculty members from various part of India, I know, see what will happen basically in our education system nowadays, what we are doing, once we got 5 years, 4 years, whatever it is, I think now started with nursery, LKG, pre-KG, UKG, whatever it is, up to 10th standard. And unfortunately, remember, in 10th standard itself, there is a perfect deviation, correct? There is a perfect compartmentalization, which means, say, if I want to take science background or I want to become science, I never study commerce, right? I never study Arthashastra. I never study history, right? If I want to become doctor, why I should study maths? Why I study history? Why I should study commerce, right? There is a perfect compartmentalization what we have done. That is the biggest threat for Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. You remember, you just imagine the Gurukula education system, what we had. See, my overall intention of this presentation is very clear. If you observe my discussion, I have started my certain topics with the history and I'm connected with contemporary relevance. So I'm trying to balance both the things. In both the way, it is very clear. There are some positives, there are some drawbacks, but end of the day, we have to balance both. So you go for the Gurukula system. What we had? Maybe once we got Gurukula Paddhati, couple of hundreds of years back, what was the regular procedure? Even it might be a son of king, right? Even it might be a son of queen. They have to come to Gurukula system. They have to bow down to the gurus and they have to take a blessings of the gurus, even the king of this destiny. He has to ask, dear Guru, after 15 years or after 20 years, my son has to rule this globe. My son has to rule this world. Can you please transfer all your knowledge to him so that he has to rule this world in an efficient way? That is how the system works in the Gurukula system, isn't it? See, the person who started chanting shlokas in the early morning, in the evening he used to ride the horse, right? And he used to help from the cooks, right? He'll do all sort of work during his Gurukula education system. See, that is the actual beauty of Gurukula system, but that we lost. If you go back to Nalanda, if you go back to Ajanta, the system what we had was the greatest thing. But unfortunately, when colonization started in 1835, maybe we have deviated. I don't know who is responsible. Even today, we are following the same. That's why even British people used to tell Bharat people we are like a coconut. I think that's one of the famous quote given by Westerners. Bharata people are like coconuts. Then you might be wonder, what do you mean by coconuts? Can anyone guess? Why they call we Indian people as a coconuts? Maybe it's a time to think. The idea is very simple. If you look at the structure of coconut or look at the color of coconut, brown outside, white inside, correct? The color outside is brown and inside it is white. The same thing applicable for the citizens of India, unfortunately, because by blood, by land, we are Indians inside, but our by thought process, by way of living, by the customization, by the westernization, still we are like a white people. See, that is a tragedy. See, that's why I always used to tell in 1947, August 15, midnight 12 o'clock, we got only political independence, right? By maturity wise, by understanding Bharat, still we have not recognized. So we will taste our opinion, our morals, still we are following European citizens. I think this is the high time to come back to our roots and we should understand what's the glory of Bharat. I think yesterday, I think most of you have seen in the newspapers or in the television, we had a great agreement with the European countries, having 27 countries together. We had a great deal, right? Government of India with European Union, we had a great deal with 27 countries. I think if you're really interested, yesterday's speech, you just listen it. The chief advisor of European Union president, she remarked one beautiful sentence. I think that is one of the greatest sentence. Hello? Hello? Is it fine?
Please continue.
Yes,
Please
sir.
Yeah.
continue, sir.
Fine. Yeah. So you just go back to television or newspaper, whatever it is. Yesterday we had a wonderful speech by the presidents of European Union, and the lady, she has made one statement that was stunned me. Being a European Union president, she told one sentence. It goes like this: "We are very grateful to India, dear President or dear Prime Minister. Whenever India glorifies, whenever India glorifies, across the globe will glorify." See, this is the sentence by European people. The people just 75 years back, they ruled us. Now today, just to check their statements. I think this is the true success of Bharat. This is the real success of Bharat. You just forget about last 200, 300 years. But today what we have to do is the right question. And we are very grateful that in 2020, NEP was implemented. I think since all of you belongs to faculty fraternity, NEP was one of the greatest revolution in Indian education system, national education policy 2020. And I hope you have gone through it. So NEP, if you've gone through the document, it is just a 66 pages, just a 66 pages. And chapter 22 of part 3, it's clearly talks about Indian knowledge system, Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. So they're telling, no, this is the right time. We have to implement Bharatiya Gnana Parampara, Indian education system. And if you're really interested, in fact, what I mentioned was in NEP, they're having only 66 pages and it was implemented in the winter session of Parliament, and now across India, they have implemented. But if you want to understand the true sense of national education policy in implemented by 2020, My request is you just go to the draft copy of NEP 2020, which was released in 2019. Did anyone gone through that particular policy? The draft copy was released in 2019. Then parliamentary board, they have taken the approval. They made several changes. I hope you know in democratic system, I always used to tell democratic system is good for Bharat, but there are some things that is not in our control, right? Whenever parliament has to pass, everyone has to agree to a certain extent. At least 1/3 of the majority has to agree. So many of the implementation they have planned in the draft copy, they have dropped it. That is the unfortunate thing, but I'm just telling you, if you're really interested, go back to the draft copy of NEP 2020, which was released in 2019. It was around 484 pages. So just go through it once and let us see what will happen for the Bharat. So this is the colonization system happened for India. Now, what is the path forward? What is the path forward? See, being a teachers, being a professors, being a staff in the educational department, what is our major responsibility? See, one thing is very clear. We have to reclaim India's intellectual legacy. And I hope you know, just a couple of years back, we lost the patent for turmeric. Can you believe it? We lost the patent for turmeric in international platform. You just ask your grandfather, grandmother, or father, mother, whoever it is, turmeric is a part of our kitchen, correct? Even today also, for all the ingredients, whatever we're using in the kitchen, the main ingredient was turmeric. For everything, whether it's relevant or not, doesn't matter. At least a spoon of turmeric we used to put it. There is a reason, right? We are not putting turmeric only for the color, isn't it? There is a medical reason. And thousands of years back, Indian people, they used to use turmeric in all the kitchen varieties, all the medical plants. But unfortunately, what happened? We lost the patent. Why? What do you mean by patent actually? It is very simple. If I tell this is invented by me today, and someone else has to come and tell, no, before itself, 2 days back itself, I have invented, patent goes to him. That was a tragedy for us. We never fought in the international growth platform saying that we had done so many medical values in the turmeric. We have not fought. We lost the patent. But you ask grandfather, mother, whoever it is, they know how much, what is the benefit of turmeric. And luckily, just a couple of years back, we had a good fight with Germany for patent for neem leaves. Right? Again, one of the medicinal value for neem leaves. You ask anyone what's the benefit of neem leaves. Earlier days, there is no Colgate, right? There is no Pepsodent. There is no Danta Sharma. Nothing was there. For everything, they are using neem. Correct? And luckily, there are hundreds CSIR scientists in Bombay. They sat and they fought. They tried to find the documents for neem leaves. And when and all we used to use, what is the history of neem leaves in Bharat? They successfully submitted the relevant document to the global platform in the patent office, and we got a patent. See, that is the realistic fact. And today there is one more patent is going on. See, if you're interested, just go to the website. Banana leaves, right? Is it a new thing for Indian platform, banana leaves? From how many thousands of years we are using banana leaves? Steel plate or whatever it is, that is a today's era. In earlier days, we used to use for banana leaves for everything. If you want to go for any function, whether it's good function, bad function, whatever it is, everywhere, lunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever it is served in the banana leaves. But who has documented? Nobody have a legacy to tell that we have using banana leaves. Even today, the patent competition is going on for banana leaves. We don't know. End of the day, are we able to get it or not? It's still a big question mark, right? See, this is how we had a legacy. Some of the things we got succeeded, some of the things we got failure, everything we have to balance. But I'll tell you, we are in a junction where we have a major responsibility to carry forward our knowledge. So that is why UGC is putting a lot of effort to implement the Indian knowledge system in the curriculum. See, I just mentioned how tragically education system has been changed. I think right, that is Arthashastra. Who has written Arthashastra? Any idea? Long back we have written in the 2nd century or 3rd century, right? Yes, we have written.
Kautilya, sir.
Yes, exactly, madam. Exactly. It was written by Kautilya. He has one more name. What is one more name? His name was Chanakya. Right? Either Chanakya or Kautilya, both are same. He was a chief advisor. Of course, his early name was Vishnu Gupta. He was a chief advisor in Maurya Empire, especially in Chandragupta period between 2nd and 3rd century. He was a chief advisor. He has written a beautiful book, Arthashastra. And many of you thought that, what do you mean by Arthashastra? What is your guess? What will be the content in Arthashastra? Can anyone tell me? Maybe let's have a wonderful discussion. I don't want to keep on telling the things. Can anyone tell me what might be the content of Arthashastra?
It is about administration.
Okay, administration, good. Anything else?
Of trade and commerce.
Study
Okay,
with
so-
relate money.
Okay. See,
Related with money, sir.
okay, fine. See, this was the expected answer. Right? See, it is all about economics, it's all about money, it's all about trade, it's all about administration. But on a real note, I'm telling you, it's beyond that. Whatever you mentioned, it's hardly 15 to 20%. You want good governance, you read Arthashastra. You want to see what is the foreign policy. There is a beautiful theory called Mandal theory. See, my suggestion is, before going for the next class, you just read at least one chapter of Arthashastra, your class will be wow. Whether you are from science background, whether you are from commerce background, whether you are from arts background, whatever it is, everybody will be related with Arthashastra book written by Chanakya because it contains foreign policy under Mandala theory. It contains agricultural idea. It's a beautiful thing. And remember, in all the institutions nowadays, there is a system called PBAs, right? Performance-based appraisal system. Whether you believe it or not, in 2nd century itself, he has mentioned, if there is an institution, there should be a policy on PBS, performance appraisal system. Name might be different, of course. In what way we have to give the increment? In what way we have to promote the faculty members? Or in what way we have to promote the staff of the institution? Everything he has mentioned. If you want a philosophy of life, you read Arthashastra. Yeah? That is the beauty of Arthashastra. And unfortunately, remember, when he wrote in 2nd and 3rd century, up to 12th century, irrespective of religion, irrespective of caste, most of the kingdoms, they have followed Arthashastra policies. Most of the kingdoms, they have followed. But in 12th century, all of a sudden, we lost that particular book. In 12th century, we lost it. And by God grace, in 19th century, again we got it. In 1905, there is a famous Sanskrit scholar called Rudrapatana Shama Shastri. So when they got the palm leaves, and I think I'm very privileged, and you have participating this session organized by MMTTC Mysore. And just a couple of months back, I also shifted to Mysore for my professional course job. And believe it or not, the original palm scripts of Chanakya Arthashastra was obtained in the outskirts of Mysore. When they're constructing some building, they got some palm leaves. They thought that this is something important. They have given to Rudrapatana Shama Shastri. He understood the importance of this and he translated that palm leaf script into Sanskrit and he has published. And even today, it's my request, if possible, when you visit the Mysore city, there is a famous research institute called Oriental Research Institute. Even today, they kept the original palm leaf scripts of Arthashastra in ORI, or Oriental Research Institute. So my request is, in the future, if there is any possibility of visiting Mysore, please visit Oriental Research Institute. So you'll find such lot of palm leaves scripts that is perfectly maintained in Oriental Research Institute. Of course, just a couple of months back, they had a financial crisis because now nobody is ready to support them. They thought of doing the digitalization and nobody supported. And fortunately, Dakshinamaya Sringeri Sharada Pita, they have donated 1 crores just a couple of months back. They have donated 1 crores for to support everything. So that is why Arthashastra even today becomes the greatest thing. And if anyone from Karnataka region, in 2019, Professor M.G. Basavaraj, he translated that into Kannada also. So irrespective of any language, dear participants, it's my humble request. As per my knowledge, this is translated to English and most of the Indian languages. So you just try to purchase one authenticated book of Chanakya's Arthashastra and just try to explore it. So you becomes something else. So this is my sincere request. And there are such books. You just go to Sushruta Samhita and Charaka Samhita. Such a privileged books, all right? So today we are talking about so many surgeries, so many medical plant values, so many things. But all of the things in 2nd and 3rd century they have written. So they are called the fathers. They are called the greatest textbook for Ayurveda system. And if you're really interested, there is one more book called Ruksha Ayurveda. Ruksha Ayurveda written by Surapala in 3rd century. Of course, that was rarely obtained in West Bengal. And the place where they have written Surapala, he was a Maharshi actually, and he was an astrologer. He lived in Sialkot. Now, geographically, that Sialkot belongs to Pakistan after independence, but earlier it was to Akhanda Bharat. Okay. Now it was available in West Bengal. In Ruksha Ayurveda, whether you believe it or not, he talked about soil quality. He talked about water management system. See, this is how Bharatiya richness we found. See, I'm just telling hardly 2 to 3 books, correct? You find hundreds of such books. Everything was documented. But unfortunately, we so-called educated, we are not at all interested to deliberate this knowledge to the next generation, right? So there is a clear-cut difference between, see, educated people and literate people. We are all educated, not literate, right? See, by degree, we have post-graduation, we have done PhD, we have done so many degrees. This knowledge for the next generation. I'll give the classic example of Vedic mathematics, right? I think Vedic mathematics example was established in the 19th century, right? So Bharati Krishna Tirtha Ji Maharaj has given. What you will say, maths is difficult. See, being a teacher of mathematics, many times students will come and they will tell, sir, maths tumba kashta agtade. It is very difficult for us to understand. It is very difficult to write the competitive exams. But remember, if you look at the Vedic mathematics, he has written only 16 sutras and 13 subsutras. Altogether, it contains only 29 sutras. In 29 sutras, you can solve many mathematical problems. I'll give simple example. Since it's an online session, I cannot present orally, but I'll just give the simple example. If it was an offline session, I think had a beautiful interaction with all of you so that we can have one-to-one interaction. Just a couple of days back, I was in the MMTT Center of Andhra Pradesh. I was giving a session on Indian agriculture system and Indian water management system. There also, I had a wonderful interaction. So today, when the coordinator of MMTC Mysuru asked, I told, no, first we'll give the historical importance of Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. Then, if you're really interested, you go for the in-depth subject. If I give only agriculture, if I give only water management, my knowledge and your knowledge will be limited. Let us try to understand what is the boundary for Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. Of course, there is no boundary, but we'll try to understand the importance. Then, the domain we belongs to, we'll try to understand. Right? See, for example, I want to find the square of 25. If I say square of 5, what's the meaning? I have to find 5 into 5, right? It is 25. If I want to find the square of 2, actually, what is the meaning? 2 into 2, right? But if you look at Vedic mathematics, if you want to find the square of any number end with 5, he has given very beautiful shloka. Ekhadikhena purvena sutram. See, one simple line. What does the sutra says? It is Ekha adhikhena purva sutram, which means one more than the previous one. For example, I'll just give one simple example, then I'll move forward. I'm just giving the glimpses of each domain. So by the end of my session, it is your responsibility in which area you want to explore. See, being a mathematics teacher, I'm giving the lecture on history because that is the greatness of Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. It's not greatness of me. It's always a greatness of Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. Let us salute it. So I want to find the square of 25. What we have to do? It is very simple. 25 means 2 and 5, right? The last number is 5, correct? And 5 square we know always. It is very simple. What is 5 square? 25. Write it on one side. 25. What is the previous number we had? 2. Right? 2. Ek adhika means 1 more than 2. What is the next number of 2? 3. Right? You just multiply 2 and 3. What is 2 and 3? 2 into 3? 6. That number you append with 25. That's all. So 25 square is 625. That's all. As simple as that. Suppose I want to find, say, 35. Again, simple. 35 means 3, 5, right? The last number is 5. Of course, 5 square is 25. Write it one side. The previous first number was 3. Multiply by the next number, that is 4. 3 into 4, 12. So 12 merge with 25, 1225. So 35 square is 1225. See how simple it is. You just ask and suggest your kids to learn this. It's a matter of hardly 5 minutes, correct? And I have given only one simple example. There are so many such examples in Vedic mathematics. But today my intention is not to explore Vedic mathematics or Arthashastra or Sushruta Samhita. My intention is just to give the glimpses of what we had in literature in Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. So this is one classic example. And sustainable practices. I think I have mentioned about Riksha Ayurveda system. And recently, you might be knowing in 2015, there is a person from Karnataka. He is basically from Karnataka Kerala border. Amnai Mahalinga Nayak. He got Padma Shri Award. Can anyone tell me who is that? Mahalinga Nayak. See, that's why I'm telling. I'm giving only real-time example. I don't want to speak anything which is not there in the documentation. Because I should know the legacy with a proper thing. I think you're all esteemed professor. You can ask, sir, what is the proof? Right? So with the proof, I'm telling. Yeah, can anyone
Sir,
tell me who is the
Sir,
Mahalinga Nayak?
he's a person who invented water in the hilly area, sir, if I'm right, sir.
Yeah, super, sir, super, sir. And in that region, there is a speciality, sir, right? If they want to get a water, they won't dig vertically, right? They'll
Yes,
dig
sir, yes, sir.
horizontally. Correct? I think, sir, you belongs to that region?
Mangalore, sir.
Oh, nice, nice. See, that is a speciality. He constructed horizontal wells. He constructed horizontal wells. And if you go to the borders of Kasaragod, Karnataka, maybe in Puttur, Dakshina Kannada, Udupi to a certain extent, Kerala, Kasaragod belt, they construct a horizontal well. And most of the construction, of course, from last 25 years, they're using certain machines. But before 25 years, manually they're constructing. Can you imagine the knowledge what they have? They should understand the soil quality, right? They should know how water will be stored. They will construct it through horizontal bisection. Can you imagine water will be stored in horizontal bisection? Even today, engineers also, they cannot imagine, right? That is the something speciality. And there is one more fellow in Gujarat, I'm not remembering his name properly, Sarbhai Pauji something. He also got Padma Shri Award just a couple of years back. And his specialty is very simple. You see, there is a famous quote in Karnataka. The quote is like this: Urigella upakari, manege mari. Okay, the meaning is very simple. He is to serve the society, not in the home. He is that category. What he will do is, he is of course a below middle class family person. Early morning is take a breakfast and he'll go to the villages. And he has one beautiful idea. Wherever he look at the soil, okay, he exactly try to identify, if I dig this place, can I get the water or not? So he's able to identify the place where they will get a proper water. And whenever he visited his neighboring villages, he used to dig the place and used to get the water. And almost 1,000 wells he constructed across Gujarat. That's why he got award, Padma Shri Award, just 10 years back. See, these are the legacy what we followed. So, dear participants, it's my sincere request, you just come back with we had a great culture since I mentioned about famous university called Kerala School of Mathematics. I hope you know, right? In the long back, we had a rich history for mathematics in Kerala School. We call it as Kerala School of Mathematics. Of course, again, now they have opened it, but now it is totally in a different direction. But earlier, there is a famous fellow called Narayana Pandit. He has written a beautiful book on calculus. Okay, so today, many of the people, they will tell, sir, differentiation is difficult, integration is difficult. But during that period itself, he has written a complete dictionary for calculus. What Newton, what Einstein they have used. The same idea geometrically he presented through his book, but that is in Sanskrit. Now tell me, dear professors, how many of you know about Narayan Pandit? How many of you know about Madhava? Right? See, whenever you say Pythagoras theorem, since I'm talking about history, I'm not talking about mathematics much. Madhavacharya too, long back, he invested the same formula, what is given by Pythagoras. in one sloka. You know magic square? I think there is one simple box called magic square. What do you mean by magic square? Maybe you can take 4 by 4, right? You write all the numbers, preferably positive integers. The condition is this: when you add row wise or column wise or diagonal wise, like X shape, sum should be same. Correct? 1 to 10, we used to do it. 1 to 16. Since it is a 4 plus 4 means there is a 16 boxes. It is very simple. But you remember, again, today I'm not telling you that. That is your duty now. If you want to construct a Pan square magic box, if you remember one Sanskrit shloka, you can construct any number of such magic boxes. In that Sanskrit shloka itself, they have given, for this place, this number you have to include so that it satisfies all the conditions. See the beauty. In Narayan Pandit also, long back he told, for such Pan magic squares, there are 383 possible ways where we can find the solution. But remember in 1923, English mathematician, again, I don't want to mention his name, he challenged that statement. He told, no, 383 solutions are not possible. Only there are 12 possible solutions. But remember, in 1928, just after 5 years back, he come up to the public forum and he told, no, it is my mistake. I'm apologizing now. There will be 383 possible solutions that exist because I have not concluded one particular conjecture. See, this is the speciality of Indian system. So, unless and until we are not connected with the ancient wisdom roots, now it is very difficult. I think if you are from Karnataka, there is a famous quote given by Mankuthimma. ಹೊಸ ಚಿಗುರು ಹಳೆ ಬೇರು ಕೂಡಿರಲು ಮನಸೊಗಸು ಹೊಸ ಯುಕ್ತಿ ಹಳೆ ತತ್ವದೊಡ ಗೂಡೆ ಧರ್ಮ ಋಷಿ ವಾಕ್ಯದೊಡನೆ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಕಲೆ ಮೇಳವಿಸೆ ಜಸವು ಜನಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. Correct? What a beautiful stroke it is. We have to balance both the things. So I'll give one simple example. Maybe if I'm not wrong, just 1 year back, we had a Kumbh Mela, right? Shall I continue?
Okay, continue, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, continue, sir.
Yes, sir. Continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So anything is there, you're free to unmute yourself and let's have a discussion because I don't want this to be monotonic in the afternoon session. So I have just taken the real life examples and I'm giving such examples. So let's have a wonderful discussion. So I'll just give the one example of Kumbh Mela. Just 1 year back, it was happened in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh, right? And as per the state government statistics, I have just gone through their statistics published in their tourism department. They are telling more than 20 crore people they have visited for Kumbh Mela, that deep bath, right? You just imagine during that period, I think now everyone using smartphone, whether you open Facebook or you open Instagram or you open YouTube Reels, whatever it is, during that period, you used to get reels of that Kumbh Mela, right? Correct? What was the reason? In 25 crore people, let us say this young generation, if they are not believing in all these rituals, hardly say 10 to 15%, maybe elders they have visited. And who is the one who is going to upload for all these social media platform? Youngsters, right? Which means statistically it is proven, even this generation people also, if we have given a right. So the statistics clearly shows even this generation people, if you have given the right direction, they are always ready to support Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. So many times what we'll blame is, no, this generation is not good. This generation is, they are not attached to the family. They are not ready to read the books. See, these are the reasons we are giving just to escape from these mistakes. See, being a parents, being a teachers, we have a huge responsibility. So let us take this responsibility and we'll try to explore it. So these are the areas of study for Bharatiya Gnana Parampara. So these three things we should keep in our mind. One is completeness, one is familiarity, and one is multidisciplinarity. Completeness in the sense, we should ensure that every discipline from both IKS and CKS, again, when I say CKS means it's a contemporary knowledge system, we have to include. In the sense, I have given the examples of, say, Arthashastra. You try to understand what is the essence of Arthashastra written by Kautilya. Meantime, in the current scenario, what is Arthashastra is going on in the world global market? You try to understand. And what are the positive things we can take from the previous thing? Let us take it. And what are the content which is relevant for today's? We'll try to export those data. And remember, we'll try to give the credit for those people. That's what we missed. Second one is the familiarity. See, I'm sure when I mentioned a couple of books like Ruksha Ayurveda and all, I'm sure many of you for the first time you're listening these names, correct? This is the problem from our end. See, what we will do is, being a faculty members, we will try to explore the ancient books written by Bharatiya people, irrespective of our domain. For example, I belongs to mathematics department. Let us try to explore my responsibilities, whatever the literature we had. I think whenever we are writing, literature survey, correct? Of course, we have to do publication. Meantime, since we are citizens of Bharat, let us try to do some good sort of literature survey in ancient system. There are thousands of books that we have not at all explored. So that familiarity is very important. And third one is the multidisciplinary. I think today is the day where everything is under AI, right? So if you are good in multidisciplinary, we will try to connect it. So whenever there is a possibility and feasibility to export, we have to export it. So in Bharatiya Gnana Parampara context, you remember, whatever the Gnana we are spreading, it is like Apara Vidya. It is only for the materialistic life. We are totally forgotten Paravidya. See, you just go back to your native and you just follow the tradition, what they have done by your fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, and all. I think that itself is the more valuable thing. And with these 3 points, I think I just want to conclude. This is very crucial for us. If we want to propagate Bharatiya Gnana Parampara, these 3 are very important. One is the documentation conservation. Second one is the understanding. And third one is the application. What do you mean by documentation and conservation? Again, I'll give certain examples. Just a couple of weeks back, we, the people of Karnataka, or maybe to the extent of Bharata, we lost one of the greatest lady of this generation. And I was very fortunate to meet her twice. That is Salu Marda Timmakka. Did anyone knows who is that Salu Marda Timmakka?
Yes, sir.
Anyone? Yeah. Who is that?
Yes, sir.
Madam,
She
can you
has
tell me?
actually planted so many trees.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, madam. Got it.
Can you hear?
Yes, madam. Sarvamangala, madam. I got it. Thank you, madam.
Sir.
Anything else
Even
apart from that? Anything else? She planted so many trees. Yeah, absolutely correct. Anything else
along with
apart from that?
along the path, sir. Not
Yeah,
not
that's
for
perfect.
her own self. Like
Perfect, madam. Apart from that, anything else? I want one more answer. See, that's what I'm giving the examples. We only don't know. That is a problem, right? How we can propagate this knowledge for the next generation? We are all totally responsible. We don't want to point out any individual. Anything else? Can anyone suggest me apart from that? There is one more speciality of Salumarda Timmakka. That is perfectly all right. She used to plant the trees because she got early marriage, maybe in the age of 12 or 13, if I'm not wrong. She wouldn't have any childrens. So she wanted to spend some time. So she started planting the trees. And thousands of trees she planted across the road. Perfect. Anything else apart from that? Anyone?
She had a great knowledge about the trees that
Maybe, madam, you're somewhat near to that.
she was aware of the different varieties of trees. Or something like
Exactly, madam. Perfectly. That is more important for me, madam.
More of banyan trees, specifically.
Yeah, exactly. And the important, madam, when I met her second time in Karnataka itself, no, sometimes what happens, we belongs to young generation. I just want to check her. Of course, that is absolutely wrong from my end. Let us be frank. I just shown one leaf to her, madam. That leaf was not available in that region. Since I belongs to Western region, I belongs to Malnad region, where we have Western Ghats and all. Whether you believe it or not, she just bited once. Only once she bited. She threw it to that side and she told, this tree name is this. And what is the health benefit of that? And she used to tell more than 100, 200 varieties of that by just looking at the smell of the leaves. Don't you think that is a greatness? Array, from all hundreds of years, we are putting doctors in my name. Array, what the hell we are doing? We are just teaching, we are publishing papers, we are getting increment. What else we have done for the society? Whether she is really educated, that is the difference, ma'am. We are educated, she is literate. That's the difference. Right? Why I came to this point is, of course, she got Padma Shri Award. I think during Padma Shri Award ceremony also, one of the cutest thing happened, right? She blessed the President of India, Ramnath Kovind, right? See, that was the greatest fact. Actually, for presidents and all, there is their own formality, right? You have to go 3, 4 steps. They'll come down one step. They will just give the award. You have to take a pic and you should move in the right direction. You should come back. There is a perfect formality you have to follow. But what she has done, she was very innocent. She blessed. She touched her head and she blessed. See, that is the innocence of, Bharatiya Gnana Parampara, right? See, that's where we go. Instead of reading 100 books, you just see that picture. That gives a lot of innocence to our mind. And why I mentioned Salu Marathimaka was, just a couple of months we lost her. Can you tell me from where we'll get that knowledge now? Did that knowledge is available in any of the textbook now? Did that knowledge is available from their son or their family members? We lost it. We completely lost. Who is responsible now? I'll give one more example. Sukri Bommagowda? She also Padma Shri awardee. She is from Karnataka. Sukri Bommagowda. Can anyone tell me who is that? Sukri Bommagowda. She is again from north part of Uttara
She's from
Kannada.
Halaki some community.
Yes, exactly. She's
She's
She's a
folk singer.
exactly, sir. Perfect. She
She's
belongs
a
to
folk singer.
correct. She
Yeah.
actually belongs to Halaki community. And if I'm not wrong, we lost in 13th of February 2025. If I'm not wrong, 13th February 2025, we lost her. Why I mentioned her name was, whether you believe it or not, again, she is illiterate or she is not educated. She, on the tip of her tongue, she used to sing more than 4,500 folk songs. Can you imagine? She used to sing more than 4,500 songs. Just imagine. We lost in 2025. And nobody is ready to document those things. Nobody comes out that data. Nobody comes out that particular folk songs. Before her death, just a couple of months back, Karnataka Janapada Academy and All India Radio, they have taken few songs, hardly hundreds or 200s. Now, what about remaining 4,000 folk songs? From where to get now? Is it not the loss of Bharat? Is it not the loss of Indian knowledge system? We are reading hundreds of books from various sides. In the tip of the tongue, she is telling such a good songs with a meaningful. We are not interested, right? Who is the corrupt now? Who is with a degree, with a doctorate, with a PhD? What is the use? What the done we have done? So this is the high time we should get back to our roots. That's why again and again I'm telling you, we have a lot of responsibility. This is one part. Second part is understanding. I always used to tell whenever I go take up the sessions for students or maybe for the parents also, what happens in most of our home, we have Bhagavad Gita, right? We have Ramayana, right? What we will do, we'll keep it on the puja, right? Early morning, after bath, we are going, we're keeping flower on the top of Ramayana book or on the top of Bhagavad Gita book, and we're coming back, right? Dear participants, this is the high time not to keep flowers on the top of Bhagavad Gita or on the top of Ramayana. It is the high time to open the book, read at least one sloka per day. You try to disseminate that knowledge for the next generation students. I always used to tell, whether it is Ramayana, Mahabharata, or whatever it is holy books we have, it may not give the solution for all your problems. It may not give solution for all your problems, but it will give the right direction. It gives the right courage to solve the problems. This is my gut feeling. I hope you follow this, right? With one final note, I just want to finish. It's already 3:05. Just to be time. Once I met, when I visited the market just a couple of months back in Bangalore, I purchased few vegetables. Okay. After that, I generally, when I visited any of the market, I just try to spend couple of minutes for elderly people. That is my habit. I spent couple of minutes. One of the elderly member, she was around 70, 75-year-old. She was selling fruits. During our conversation, she mentioned one sentence that was struck me. She told one sentence that is in Kannada. Later I'll translate to English. She told, ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೋಲು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕುರ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ವೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಶಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಕ್ಯಾಶುವಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಐ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಕೋಲು ಮತ್ತೆ ಕುರ್ಚಿಗೆ ಬೆಲೆ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ವೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಉದ್ಧಾರ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ವಿಚ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್, the moment when we are not giving respect for the chair and the stick, we are unable to grow it. What does it mean actually? Can anyone elaborate what you mean by giving respect for a chair and stick? Does it make some sense? See, she is totally uneducated, but see the wording she has used. It is not considered from my end. She has told that sentence. Can you tell me that context?
It may be could be possible to respect the elders and their
Yes,
the
absolutely, sir.
seniority and their knowledge.
Yes, absolutely, sir. It's very simple. The meaning of chair is you have to give the respect for elders, whether literated, educated, non-educated, not. With their experience, they have a lot of things to learn from there. And one thing, stick represents, it is very close to us. Whenever we made a mistake, we should punish it. Punish it, which means we have to, doesn't mean that we have to hit. Whenever there is a mistake, we should stand up and we should tell, yes, this is the mistake. That's what we lost, especially with this generation students. So these are the two things we should be very careful. If we want to carry forward this legacy, always we should give the respect for chair and stick. With one last note, I'll wind up, dear participants. There is a famous quote in Kannada written by Chutuku Brahma called Dinakara Desai. In one of his Chutuku, he told, ಹತ್ತೆಡೆಯೋಳು ಒಂದಡಿಯನ್ನಷ್ಟನ್ನು ತೋಡಿ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನೀರು ಎನಬೇಡ. ಹತ್ತೆಡೆಯೋಳು ಒಂದಡಿಯಷ್ಟನ್ನು ತೋಡಿ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನೀರು ಎನಬೇಡ. ಒಂದೆಡೆಯೋಳು ಹತ್ತಡಿಯಷ್ಟನ್ನು ತೋಡು ಚಿಮ್ಮುವುದು ಉದಕವ ನೋಡ. It is as simple as that. If you want to get some knowledge of any of the domain, you don't dig 10 different places. You may not get water. You go in depth for a particular topic or a particular domain, you will get the vast knowledge of that particular domain. Which means my call for the day is very simple. You might belong to different domains. My call of the day is you try to understand the knowledge of your domain. Whatever the contributions done by the past people of Bharat, we will try to explore. We will disseminate this knowledge to the next generation students, and we act like a catalyst. And one last request. Today, when you go back to your home, of course, you're keeping your footwear outside. Along with your footwears, keep your degrees, keep your attitudes, keep your strength, everything outside. Spend some time with your elderly people, grandfather, grandmother, father, mother, or maybe kids. They are so innocent. Our life will be cherished. Bharat becomes Vishwaguru. With that note, I'm going to finish my session. I would like to thank each and everyone for your listen. I hope I made 1 hour worth for you to listen this session. And since it is an afternoon session, I had a challenge. And being a math teacher, teaching history is also a great challenge. I hope I give the respect for the session. And once again, I thank each and everyone from the University of Mysore and all the participants. And if you have any queries, I'm displaying my email ID and mobile phone number. I'm happy to answer your questions. I'm happy to discuss with you. And in the future also, if there are any sessions related to IKS, I'm always ready to help you, maybe in your institutions or wherever it is. For any topic, I'm happy to serve you. So my phone number and email ID is displayed on the screen. So you can go through it. And if there are any discussion, I have 4 minutes of time, last 4 minutes. Any discussions to be done from your end, I'm happy to answer it. Over to you.
So could I ask any questions?
Sir, please.
So you told that our culture and our heritage and our history, everything is very good, sir, and fantastic. But you told that we lost our identity and our beliefs and systems. some way we were missed it because of colonialism or whatever it may be that. But still we are in progress because when we compare to other countries, we have so much of knowledge, even though you told that. We have
Yes, sir.
sort of our own kind of history and our own kind of systems. Still we have lot of progress and development.
Yes, sir.
And we have to go back to that. Those our forgotten ideas and forgotten systems and education system, whatever it may be that. Would it be
Exactly, sir.
possible to brought those kind of forgotten Indian system of thinking and all those things? Would it,
Yes.
maybe better way to progress? At the same time,
Yes,
a
sir.
question is that is any kind of challenges we are facing today? If we have any challenges, what those challenges? And maybe these challenges are obstacle for progress in a better way.
Yes.
These
Sir, thank you for your kind words. My observation is very simple, sir. Most of the people in across Bharat, they are ready for this change. But unless and until, if the policy makers, if they are not ready, in Indian democratic system, it is very difficult, sir. So I'll give a simple example. In 2020, we have implemented NEP. Their idea was beautiful. But how many states have been implemented NEP in their states? Many of the states, they are not ready to accept the fact that we have to implement NEP in their state. They are not ready. Even today, some of the states in Bharat, they are not ready to accept this. Then end of the day, who are the losers? Because of their political surveillance, they are neglecting all these factors. So my observation in this regard is, unless and until the political system and the policy makers, if they are not ready to accept the changes in a ground level, how much if we fight also, making complete changes will be a greatest challenge, sir. So from the bureaucratic itself, it has to be changed. It's like a chain system. So from the top level, if it is clear, I think in the ground level, we are like a warriors and we are ready to help in any extent. But unless and until if the bureaucrats, if they are not ready, it is very difficult.
Okay, sir. Excellent, sir. Another one is, sir, you told it's a political kind of
Yeah,
challenges.
sir.
Majorly, it has been taking place and its influences on our day-to-day life. At the same
Yeah,
time,
sir.
social changes, challenges also. I think you got my idea. Is it about
Yes,
that?
exactly.
Social changes, social challenges also. There's a lot of challenges in front of us. That.
Yes,
So
exactly, sir.
how could these challenges India may be overcome?
So two things, sir. One is, if you want to elaborate Bharatiya Gnana Parampara, there should be two things, sir. One is the motivation. See, even for today kids, if you want to feed rice, chapati, whatever it is, you have to give the mobile, right? Earlier days, we used to show the moon. Now we have to give the phone. Okay, that's the difference. So we should have certain motivation that comes from individual. One thing, sir. Second thing is we should find out the application. Otherwise, this Z generation or alpha generation people, they won't accept. Even being a teacher of mathematics, I'm telling you, sir, when I take the maths class for engineering students or post-graduation students, after finishing my topic, they're asking, sir, why we have to study this? And I'm sure whenever you start discussing Indian knowledge system, the first question comes to your family or friends or students, whatever it is, sir, why we have to study Bharatiya Gnana Parampara? Right? So my request is you try to find out the motivation behind it and try to find the application. Like I have given example of Vedic mathematics, right? And I have given one classic example of Ruksha Ayurveda written by Surapala. So those are the ground level application. Even today it is applicable. So in that way, maybe we should explore. So that are the only two possibilities.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Can anyone of us propose vote of thanks now?
Yes, I am Dr. Kumar Swami. I should thank for Harish ji. Really, we inspired about his session. And even though I hope that he belongs to technical knowledgeable person, but in the relevance of IKS, Indian Knowledge System, really we have to appreciate him. But thing is, among our teaching community,